Bitter, citrus, sweet. It seems to grow stronger, like a glow, with every breath you take. Whatever petrochemical byproducts they used to create this artificial flavor have bonded until a blossom of skin and flower petals erupts behind your clothes. Your heart working up feels very, very familiar. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky, but something's not right.
Hi again. So, how are things going? And? What happened? Oh, man! Who is he? What did you think? Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church? No matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light! Yeah! Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her? A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub? Come on, man. Who will you trust? A spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place. Feel the love! Get down and feel it!
A half-hearted sell of something which does not seem worth buying.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea. Ja oder nein? Rocking it or dropping it?
What a pity! That's my favourite thing in the world! And she doesn't like it at all!
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And into a laser-lit future of dance and unity? Unity! Dance! And you can't just evict her?
Look at you, Honour Man!
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music. The lines in the dark exist. Coexist.
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like anodic dance music? Wonderful! If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think? Excellent! Good luck, my friend.
The number of things don't add up. Let's take a look. How about gather around, kids? The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
But you still are. What happened? I've been trying to say we need the next step in dance music to happen fast. Shut it! What? I have! I've said that!
The young speed freak is silent.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing. I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients. What do you mean, friend? It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine, almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
No shit. Fuck, man. It's difficult to get along with some people, but we're trying to make an effort. We are on a mission here. That's... Come on, that's... It's not. What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing. The optimal way to go about this would be indifference. It begins by you telling him you don't care about any of this.
What do you mean by lenient? Okay, man, okay. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn a church into the wickedest club in East Revachol.
Because we do! We totally do!
We just need to turn it into a speed lab before.
To get our foot in the door.
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up. No, man, they're spooky all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
Sir, you promised you'd be lenient.
This is it. Judgment time.
Yeah!
Respectable. I'm really feeling the science right about now.
I knew from the get-go we could count on you. We can make this work. The dance club will have a future. Goodbye, officer.
We're close. True, hard, full, car. It's hardcore. Skipper D, skipper danger.
Huh? I see you're here again. Off sign, man.
We're close. True, hard, full, car. It's hardcore. Skipper D, skip. We're close. True, hard, full, hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent.
All car! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah! Is it though? One mind, one spirit. There's no other world. There's no other life. We're close. True, hard, full, hardcore. Yeah!
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yeags and args. This produces a guttural Gotwaldian accent and makes him sound more animal, more in it. Or maybe it's not Gotwaldian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from, judging by his name. Could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck creation right now?
You know about him?
You know Van Eyck? Wow!
The skinny wraith looks at you with some disbelief.
So am I! So am I!
Oh! Is that why they call you Egghead? Because...
Egghead to the mega! The K became the G! The boy became the man! The advent? We're club true, hard, full, hardcore! Yeah!
This young man, or maybe...
You know about him?
You know Van Eyck? Good.
The advent? We're club true, hard, hardcore! Yeah!
This young man adds a... Or maybe it's not...
The Y to the E to the... Yeah!
We're close. True, hard, full, hardcore! Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent.
All car! All right! Yeah!
Gotta get the people going. I'm the party boy. It's my job. Hardcore party 25/7 beyond the winter's orbit style.
There is a place far away in Cutler. Beyond...
We're close. True, hard, hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3, Yakokata, the place to be! Yakokata is...
Yekokata, an intricate system.
True! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent! Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3! It's the message, so listen and you will...
The shaggy-haired girl kneels on the sea ice. She looks up as you approach.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean. Shoot. I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. May I ask, what did you tell them?
Good call, detective. You can lose your mind trying to mediate everything these delinquents come up with. Fate will take care of it for us.
We won't be anyone's problem. I'll get them under wraps, I promise. Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's less prone to blurting out Crabman than the others.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still. And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
You saw him? Does it mean that you went in there? Did you see the other spooker, the one in Grandma's clothes? Good, so you believe me. You should go tell this to Andre. He'll know what to do next. My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Sorry. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on.
To the cops.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make anything work. Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery. It touches her hair.
All right. Bring me the game's offsite copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself. No, that's the production schedule you stole and accessed without authorization. I don't need it.
In his defense, it was simply lying in the desk drawer of an abandoned cubicle.
Okay, but still. Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady. That's her name, I believe. There's this giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. It's there. Don't worry, you can't miss the bear. It's hideous.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying,
Wait, a note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? Jawiza. Of course! Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. That feature creep and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offsite copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. And the heads... I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker, will you? Thanks.
Valley of 1,000 Heads. You like the sound of that.
This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or, I don't know. I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just figure something out. It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer. The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old workspace and get the filament.
Hold on. If it's called an off-site copy, then why is it still on-site?
Oh God, not this again. It is not on-site. It is in the basement. Perfectly safe and not connected to the front at all.
Basement? Sounds like it's technically still on-site.
And no, taking it outside the building wouldn't have protected it from the data loss. There's nothing wrong with keeping the backup in the basement. What happened was a freak accident that has nothing to do with how the backup was stored. We clear? Thanks. And here's my Qualsund multitool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offsite copy, then you can keep the Qualsund.
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smokable smokes, pissable pilsner. Drink it, then convert it to piss. And there's spirits and speed too. Here you go, friend.
That is unhygienic and dangerous, and it does not endear you to me. Just wanted to make that clear, okay?
Unhygienic. This stuff is very hygienic. See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture. You know what's crazy, actually? What?
Keep him talking.
This guy.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the doctor's office. I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go. It was. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all. But the idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead fingers. Fight 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila! What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7% almost pure alcohol.
Snakes or intestinal worms?
2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it.
Don't say it.
£3 and it's yours, friend. The deal of a lifetime.
Well done. You got it. That's a much more reasonable price right there. Makes sense now.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend.
If you drink this, then you'll die. That's a fact. And that's why we're going to save you from yourself and store this as a sellable item. Go sell it at the pawn shop for a profit.
My kind of guy. Here you go, friend. Bottoms up, Captain.
Now that you've acquired some stimulants, it's time for a little pick-me-up. Time to detect. Raise the bottle, close a nostril, and inhale furiously. The rush is almost immediate. It tastes bitter and caustic and stings a bit inside your nose. Now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity, your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. A sweat breaks out across your brow. Your jaw clenches. You could work with this high. Like, literally work. Solve the case. File some papers. Maybe clean up your hostel room. Then solve another case. Then start a side investigation into the paranatural. Then build a radio computer. Whoa, this shit is strong. This shit is disco. To this? You kidding? There are downsides to not being on it. There are massive downsides. It's a potent neurotoxin. You're turning yourself into a frayed idiot. Spring. Everything is clear around you. You're ready to concentrate on the next task in the task chain.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a speed button. Speed gives +1 to motoric skills. Perception, reaction speed, hand-eye coordination, savoir-faire, interfacing, and composure.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps. I doubt it, but
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed. Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Hyundai burning.
2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
You should.
typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber Harman Waushi, stares at you longingly with its tape reel eyes.
And here you are, quality.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets. The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Nothing to do with this right now. Inside, you see a set of steering levers.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that the library is open from...
We should try again during business hours.
Anything else, Detective? One moment. Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence? No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes? Any information on the library card? Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else? I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you? Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. 10-4, sir, glad to hear that. I'll write down that there is no need to issue a new one to you then. Over. Roger that, 10-10, over and out.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow.
This is Precinct 57. Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers. Only the red cable is plugged into the breaker box. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melts. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip.
Didn't Sona give you a perfect tool for this kind of job? The Kvalsund.
Equip the multi-tool by going to the Tools tab in your...
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. Ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Kvalsund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep. A filament memory. With the you gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lukanen Kilde as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperatures.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
All right. I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the offside copy? Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. They are merely cautious. It's my job to protect their filaments as a password. I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by...
Doesn't it get lonely, sitting there all by herself?
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident. Good. Please repeat the password. No, that's not it.
Maybe it's the second part of the leitmotif you saw on the stained glass window.
Good. I've unlocked the offside copy. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament.
Ka-ching.
Fortress Accident, is there anything else I can do for you today? Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. It sounds like something cracks before the piece of paper starts filling up with pure black ink. Something's broken. Machines aren't supposed to behave like this. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. The paper is soaked with ink, its monochrome darkness spanning from margin to margin. It's not possible to make out any information. It's just black upon black. Nothing to see here. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys. A thick layer of coal dust cut.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you. Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But, darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
That is a way bigger compliment than it sounds like.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden... I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there. The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water.
Where did you go?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years,
We were on a date.
So...
It did, yes.
The way it moved, if it weren't...
Our first, yeah.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him.
You're welcome.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere.
Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
Good. Okay. And? Completely empty?
No locusts? No...
That's not ideal, but...
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them. You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you to tread lightly.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps, make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
Of course we have.
Wait, Morel. He may have a point. We have an obligation to rule out other hypotheses.
You're right, dear. It's a fair point. But what other explanation could there be? Pardon me. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened? Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft?
Hello. Lena and I were just discussing the design of the new trap.
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
A little hooligan. But what would a child want with bugs?
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks. Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
This is a slippery one. He may respect the law, but mostly wants to pass under the radar. You won't get a chance to talk after you walk out of here. He hasn't been particularly forthcoming before. He may well still be hiding something. After he's left, it's too late.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here.
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and... Morel, it's been fun. Really. But I need a bath, and I have deliveries to handle.
No need to apologize, Geary. You'd be more than...
Again? I can't believe this shit. Okay, why not? So, do you know who hanged him? I don't know.
It's like you felt it would be intellectually...
Oh my god, there's more.
The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notes...
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now.
As Lieutenant Kitsuragi explained, a patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you? No, you haven't wronged me. It's okay. Okay, fine. Let's talk.
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once forth.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right?
What precinct?
Am I from?
Fucking deranged lunatic.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation.
Very generous of you to help us out, officer. I'm sure glad to be back from that. I like nature. Just...
This man respects authority too much to see you for what you are. Pretend thou art a sober man.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for...
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taken care... No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that.
He's not feeling very comfy in his clothes, is he? He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on.
My mug? Why would you think that? I may have had a similar-looking mug in the past. That's all. Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you? Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn quite...
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law. Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are out now. Then I came out to clean up the rags, because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well...
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
What sound? I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird sounds in a bar like this, though. Pinball, glasses clinking. Could be someone playing pinball.
Maybe it was pinball.
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez, so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself. Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
Sure do, officer. In my home, yes. When I was going to... How did you know? Mr. Clare unlocked my apartment? So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me. What could it be about? I probably talked too loud. In the whirling. About some theories I had. Whatever it is, I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
Is he? He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads.
Good one. Yeah. Good one, officer. Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out. Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Gary, what's going on?
I took the hangman's cuirass. I didn't mean...
God damn it, Gary.
I know.
Shame on you. Give the cuirass to the officer at once. Gary didn't mean to interfere with your investigation, officers. He's just thick-headed and poor as dirt. But he's always helped us, given us a place to stay, and he's followed Morel.
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning, No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys...
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
This is all he knows. He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat, but so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Because I was weak. I should have told you.
He's a scaredy cat.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word. No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
Oh, yes, the burning rhino. Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai. A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do. The flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior. During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos, forming a fiery ring. Local peasants call it the Passion Ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should.
It's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels, some even spiritual.
They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze. Perhaps we should have more such decisive action in Revachol. You know, this city used to be a flaming rhino once.
Can I help you?
What is this thing?
Okay, well, this is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
This was mostly about the fucking cardio. Massive cardio here. You'll live till 90, or you get a heart attack from running.
Another thing. Great. I love those. Oh, yes, that door, sure. No, I don't. Awesome ball.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. He looks at the dust on his...
Yes? Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting my time?
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the smooth as ice. There are just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a maybell. The young woman looks at the maybell in your hand, just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette.
Welcome to the roof.
Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. It's much nicer now.
Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly. Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
Across the city, the lieutenant stops to consider a smoke break. He shrugs off the urge. Maybe tonight. His absence is palpable. Too late now.
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult. She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
Or an admirer?
Admirers? I'm too old to be a debutante. And this place is no fashionable society.
Question avoided. Let's conclude that she has admirers. Plenty of them.
Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering. About 4 months. I came in November. Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. I'm wintering. About 4 months. I came in here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in... I always wanted to see the only city in the world in the worst time of the year.
This is by far not the only reason she's here. And she...
Okay. Clausier Amandou. I'm 28. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I'm afraid you can't, officer. Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets. They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. Officer, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wondering. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street. And I don't want my relatives to pay the rent.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
It's also why I hid it. I'm an unpopular girl. There are people the kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry, this has nothing to do with your investigation. I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect. No, I'm not. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than...
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... Only the name of the nation changes.
What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves.
No. Revacholian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world. That's the natural state of the Revacholian hero.
She seems quite relaxed for a victim of assault. But, of course...
Nothing. I do nothing with it. It's not very cool, but what can you... The record. So official. Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean? By sexually assaulted, you mean raped? It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it? Is it? It is evening. Time flies, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. We partied. A lot of partying going on.
From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Please, you're alive and 50. I've known people who party so hard they're dead at 14. What no one does on your level is hitting the repeat button. I'll give you that. And maybe room trashing. We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him. Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them. Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn out. What's that about?
About a month? Something like that. Pretty much.
Warming them. She must be very cold and exhausted of this life.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about it. I don't know. Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof.
A bitter cringe. It hurts her.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it. I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean, but I understood it was dangerous.
She nods.
Bullet? They shot him too?
I'm not picking up on any theatrecraft here, sir. The pause is sincere.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him? I'm confused, sorry. Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night?
Cowering. I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie. They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. A little, yeah. No, not as hard. I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know? But that's probably where they got the rape idea. Men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
I hope I've been, helpful.
As she says so, you feel the young woman looking at you and get a feeling you can't quite put your finger on. A suspicion?
Why not?
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. So cool. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit. What are you, deaf? They're perfect, like rock star politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so... Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen, Salam Rocky Baye, badass on-the-edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you.
I was just thinking, what a nice evening. I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for
She looks back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile.